welcome back. Today I wanted to do kind of a fun minimalist video. These are the things that I only own one of, and some of you might not own these at all. I think it'll be a really fun conversation to have down in the comments. But as always, if you are new here and you like content like this, I would love it if you hit subscribe. But let's go ahead and talk about the things that I only own one of, and then as a bonus, I will include some things at the end that I don't own at all that I think most people do. Let's hop right in. All right, in the kitchen, I only own one pitcher. Now these, almost everything that I'm gonna mention today, I have at one point owned at least two, sometimes several of these individual items. So at one point I had several pitchers and I've narrowed it down to one. I've decided to just keep things that are very classic, that can go all year round, that can dress up or down. So I have this white one that I absolutely love and I use it all year. So I have one pitcher. Something else that I used to have multiple sets of are measuring cups and measuring spoons. I even had incomplete sets, like I'd have a couple of cups from one set, a couple of cups from another. It was just a random jumble, and I just have narrowed it down to one set of each. And since I've organized them, I haven't lost any of the pieces, and I've had this set up for almost a year. I only own one crock pot. When I set about my decluttering journey, my journey to a more minimalist and simplified life, I had three different crock pots. I had two large ones and one small one, and I justified keeping them because I thought, well, if I host a lot of people, this is gonna be really handy. I'm gonna be so happy that I have three crock pots. And as you can probably guess, that kind of opportunity really never presented itself. We ended up hosting, but I ended up not needing three crock pots like I thought. I would use one big one and then maybe cook something on the stove, and I just realized I don't need three, I need one. So I've narrowed it down to one and have never felt the need for any more than that. I also only have one set of dishes. I don't have like a fancy set for company and an everyday set. I don't have a set of plastic dishes and a set of ceramic dishes. I just have one. And just like with the pitcher, I've chosen white so I can dress it up and dress it down for different seasons and holidays and occasions. So I don't own multiple sets. And when I first got married, I thought, if you're like a grown-up, you have at least one set of fine china or nicer china, or like the china you bring out on Christmas and New Year's. Not that it had to be expensive, but I was always thinking like you always have a separate set. But I realized, thinking more minimally now and living more this way, that you really don't. You just need one set that's universal, that can go with any season and occasion, and your holiday and event can still be special. I used to have multiple blenders. I only have one now, and funny enough, the one that I have is cracked, which makes me so sad. I'm very disappointed, but it still works great. The kids don't use it. I know where the crack is, and we just keep using it because to replace it would cost a lot of money, and the function of the blender is still perfectly intact. So I only have one blender. If I have the chance to replace it at some point, I definitely will. But for now, we're just using the one and it works great. In the clothing category, I only own one coat, and I've always been pretty minimalist when it comes to my wardrobe, but I have simplified even farther since I've been on this journey to minimalism and simplicity. So I only have one coat, and it's time to get a new one. It is. This year I'm going to replace it. It has had many good years, this coat, and I have definitely gotten all my money's worth out of it, and I've gotten so much good use, but I feel like it's getting a little bit worn, a little bit tired, and it doesn't fit great anymore. So I really do want to get a new coat this winter, but I'll only be getting one that can kind of go with everything. I have one pair of light wash jeans or medium wash and one pair of dark, for a total of two. I think this is really extreme. I don't think many people only have two pairs of pants, but this has worked great for me. I just alternate between them, and then when they get worn, I buy a new pair. I really don't feel the need to have more than two for myself personally. Like I said, my wardrobe is very small. I don't want to say it's limited, because I definitely come up with outfits and don't feel like bored or anything like that, but I definitely feel that it is pared down and narrowed very, very specifically as a minimalist wardrobe. So I only feel like I need two pair, medium and dark wash, one of each. But let me know, do you have multiple pairs of jeans, or are you like me and really feel like you only need one of each? Moving on to the makeup and hair category. If you remember me from my makeup days, when this channel was completely dedicated to makeup and beauty, let me know in the comments, because you've been here a long time, but I really have narrowed down all of these products significantly, and in a lot of cases, I only have one item. I only have one curling tool, I guess you would say. It's a curling iron. I don't have any wands. I just have one curling iron. I think it's a 1¼ inch, and I just use it anytime I want my hair to be curled. And I don't feel like I need anything else, just because I'm happy with this, and I can get a little bit different look by leaving the ends out or curling up a little bit higher on my head. I only have one hairspray, and it's from the drugstore. It's super, super awesome. It is very affordable. It is this Tresemme, I think you say, is how you say that, but it is the number 4, and I love it. I buy a huge can of it, and it lasts me forever, and I don't have any other hairspray. I don't have different hairsprays for like humidity or frizz or shine or anything. I just use a very traditional standard hairspray for every single time of the year, and this has worked great for me. All right, I only have one dry shampoo. I love the Batiste dry shampoo. They're always coming out with different flavors and different scents. That's what I call scents. Flavors. But I just have one, and if I run out, I buy another bottle. This is a really good example of one where the one in, one out rule really applies. It really, especially, I feel like, easily applies to things that are consumable. So once my hairspray bottle is gone, I get a new one. I throw the can away. Once the dry shampoo is gone, I throw it away. So it really does make it pretty simple if you just had one to begin with, to really keep a good inventory of what you have and not start cluttering up your bathroom. For makeup, I only have one foundation. It is the Revlon Color Stay, you guys. This is the best foundation. I am obsessed. I have been wearing it for like 10 years. I feel like it is absolutely perfect if you like a little bit fuller coverage foundation. And then I also only have one mascara at a time. The one that I have right now is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. This is so good if you like a drier mascara that gives you volume and separation. It is amazing. So again, here is where the one in, one out rule applies for me. Sometimes I go back and try like an old favorite mascara, but I won't have two at once. I will wait till the one I'm using is gone, and then I'll go out and buy the new one. And this has worked really, really well for me, just to cut down on the clutter. The miscellaneous category is always fun. I only have one pair of gloves. I used to have a couple pair, but honestly, just like with most things, I gravitated toward one particular pair anyway most of the time, so that is the pair that I ended up keeping. I realized if something happened to these gloves that I would probably regret not having a backup, and in fact I have a whole video coming about things that you should not declutter, things that you should have a backup or reserve of, and I do kind of think that maybe I recently decluttered some gloves. I probably should have held on to the second pair and kept it in my storage bin, because I've lost gloves before. But for right now, I only have one pair of gloves, but I wouldn't say that's a good idea. I used to have a wad of keychains on my keys. I would collect little keychains that I thought were super cute, and I would just add them to my collection. I only have one keychain right now, and it is so much lighter in my purse. It is so much less like cumbersome or clumsy when I'm trying to get my keys. So I love just having one keychain on my keys, but this is what I'm curious about. Do you just have one, or do you have several like I used to? I only have one planner, and I used to have a couple at a time for different categories of my life, but I realized that I only need one. I only need one place to keep all of my appointments, all of my information, my schedule, and it's worked really well to just go down to one planner. I love using the Happy Planner. It is so fantastic. I love the way that it's laid out, and again, it just has everything there. The monthly spread, the weekly spread, and then a place where you can take notes. It's all you need. So I have really loved going back to my Happy Planner and just sticking with that one. If you've been with me for a while, you've heard me mention that we only have one set of sheets per bed. This we've really enjoyed. I have a specific day that I wash the sheets on, dry them, and put them right back on the bed. I don't need to have extra sheets stored in my linen closet or cupboard because I don't wait that long to do the sheets, if that makes sense. And so many of you have said, what if one of your kids gets sick in the night? We're going with towels at that point. I do not put new sheets back on the bed if I have a sick kid. Now for fun, let's talk about several things that I don't own at all. I do not own a single pair of high heels. I know, it's kind of crazy. I've just realized as I became a mom that chasing after little kids in heels was a total hazard for me. So I ditched the high heels altogether, and now I just wear flats or wedges. So I don't own a single pair of high heels, though I do feel like at some point in my life I will at least get another pair because I think they're gorgeous. I don't own a KitchenAid. For the longest time I dreamed of having one. I just think they look cute. Even out on the counter, they can look really, really nice and sleek. And I just thought having this thing that's mixing as you're dumping in, you know, I've seen like tutorials. I thought that looked so nice, so handy. But I just have kind of let go of that dream and realized I'm okay. I just don't need a KitchenAid. So I have been fine just using my own hand mixer. It's smaller anyway, and it's just one less thing, even though I think it looks pretty, it is one less thing to have out on the counter space. I also don't have an Instant Pot, and so many people swear by the Instant Pot. I'm intimidated by them. I actually had one gifted to me and I never ended up using it because I was so intimidated by it, and I always just go back to my crock pot. So I don't have an Instant Pot. I got rid of mine. I don't own one live houseplant. I want to change that. I want to own a houseplant, and I've talked about this in videos before. I just don't really know where to start with a houseplant. I want it to kind of match my aesthetic. I just have fake plants and I just am, again, kind of with the Instant Pot. I'm intimidated, I'm nervous. I feel like I've killed plants in the past, so I don't trust myself with them, but I would love to at least have one live houseplant, especially because I just want to take care of it. I want to see it thrive. If you have a good suggestion of a live houseplant that does great with people without a green thumb, let me know because I would love to try it out. What are some items that you only own one of, or a common item that you don't own at all? I would love to chat in the comments. Thanks for being here today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.